The Mandarin is undoubtedly the most popular Chinese buffet in the six. It's also the only place you go into feeling like a normal human and walk out feeling another type of way. And today we're going to visit and leave them a review.
You ready? I'm ready.
Now, I don't know if I'm ready for the amount of food I'm destined to eat today, but I am visiting the Mandarin on the west end of the city. It's located at 1255 the Queensway. It has a 4.7 star rating with over 13,000 reviews, and this is just one of the 30 locations across the province. To give you a little bit of an overview before we go in, it was in 1979 a group of family and a friend who all had restaurant experience in NYC and Montreal purchased a small Chinese restaurant which was initially offered as a la carte, dine-in and takeout. Then in 1986 they switched to a buffet style due to popular demand where one price equals this much food, and it was basically uphill from there. They continued expanding throughout the years, adding food items to their buffet lineup, and also participated in many philanthropic initiatives. Alright friends, we're about to go in. After checking in at the front, our hostess will walk us to our seating area. Right away you can see that
This place is off the hook!
walking in, you see the interior is very beautifully designed, and we're also provided with a brief introduction.
Just remind that our washroom is in the back right hand corner.
Okay.
Also today is the last day we're celebrating the Moon Festival.
I had some trouble understanding what this sweet lady was saying. It looks like they're celebrating their 45th anniversary and the Moon Festival, which is a major Chinese holiday symbolizing family reunion and unity under the moon, which also means more unique limited time food items to try. Very similar to the traditions of Thanksgiving. Once we're seated, you're provided with a hot towel to clean your hands. Sweet. We are presented with some specialty drinks via the paper drink menu, which are extra cost. Unfortunately, it's only noon though, so I'll stick with my shui for now.
You never told me you spoke Chinese. I never told you I didn't.
And before we start making our plate and testing some of the food items, I'm going to give you a quick tour.
Well, hurry up. Man, what's wrong with you? You don't jump in front of a black man in a buffet line. Calm down.
This is the sushi bar where they have professional sushi makers make them right in front of you freshly every day. They also have vegetarian options like the cucumber roll and teriyaki for those who don't eat seafood. I've actually never had seafood and I'm not going to start today, but let me know in the comments what the best seafood is in case I'm feeling risky in the future. So there's 4 soup stations available, including butternut squash for the Moon Festival. I am in beard mode today, but with so many options and so little room, it didn't make the cut unfortunately. Heading over to the salad bar, they have a wide variety of options from a Caesar salad to basically everything you can think of, like potato salad, macaroni salad, fresh veggies, and even mussels. They do a great job of offering choices that cater to many different tastes, so you'll always have something that you'll like. Now, I always start by crafting my salad plate first thing so that I don't need to come here again. And after crafting the perfect salad, I can go and make my first plate. Look at all that steam coming off the food. Everything looks very fresh, and what's really impressive is how clean they keep the food stations. They also keep it full at all times, like as soon as half of the items is depleted, they come out with a fresh batch. Even when my shui is close to being empty, somebody is ready there to fill it up. Like, the service is so good that it's almost annoying, if that makes any sense, but it's definitely 5-star service for now. It's also a kind gesture to label every item with a calorie count so you can easily add up the amount of shame and regret you'll have later. But today I've left my dignity at home and brought my loosest pants, which is kind of the only way to go to a buffet. According to their website, they have over 100 different food items to choose from, which is basically like every Chinese restaurant to ever exist. They've got all of the legendary items like General Tso chicken, Shanghai noodles,
Chicken wings, some baby back ribs, some fries or something? Chinese food, no soul food here.
Trust me, they've got all the food here. This is their grill station where everything is made right in front of you. From grilled meats to dumplings and breakfast items. You can even have eggs made to order. There's really no rhyme or reason as to how I'm making my plates. I'm just gonna go with the buffet flow. Now I'm gonna top off my plate with some favorite comfort food, and it's time to review. Now that I look back at it, I may have overfilled my plate a bit much, forgetting you can go back again, but I've got a good mix of Chinese and Western favorites to try, so I think I'm gonna start my Chinese buffet taste test with pizza.
Very good.
So I don't think I've ever had a pizza I truly dislike because I'm a fat ass, but it's similar to any frozen pizza you throw in the oven. I'm also not going to review every single individual item I try. However, the onion rings have a similar vibe to the pizza. It's a bit greasy and could be crispier, but I'm not gonna grade them too hard on this as I feel like these are more favorites to appease the kids, and it's not really the highlight of what they offer. Now, let's try some of the Chinese food.
Now this is more like it.
These teriyaki meatballs are super tender. Sauce is flavorful with a hint of sweetness. They're well cooked and this is a great start. The Shanghai fried noodles are slightly al dente with a really nice texture. They're covered in a delicious sauce. We got egg rolls and spring rolls. They're crispy with a nice crunch both inside and out. So these kind of spring rolls can go for as much as $15 for 4 pieces. I mean, the value you get is pretty amazing and they're just as good as any Chinese takeout I've had. Like, you definitely get the bang for your buck. The barbecue spare ribs fall right off the bone. They're super tender and the barbecue sauce is nice. So the first tastes of the Chinese selections are pretty delicious and cooked well. I really wish I could walk into their kitchen and see what putting all this together looks like. My critique so far is that the food is slightly on the greasy side, but a lot of it is deep fried, of course. I think the teriyaki meatballs and the Shanghai noodles are my favorite so far though. Everything is also very fresh on my random plate of salad. I managed to make my other plate a little bit more like an adult. This is the legendary General Tso, which is one of my favorite types of Asian style chicken, and it's also my new favorite item I tried here. The chicken wings are juicy and better than I expected. The garlic green beans are crunchy, but I can see my reflection on them from the grease, so it's a similar vibe to the first plate. Everything's saucy, although very tasty, but a bit on the greasy end. And by the end of this plate, I'm already starting to feel the effects. The food is all generally high in carbs and sodium, and the sweet sauces are high in sugar, which all has you feeling full pretty quickly. How the hell do you do it, bro? I did go for a third plate, which may have been overkill.
I'm no punk bitch. I ain't no punk bitch neither. I'm no punk bitch.
I tried more food from the girls section. Honestly, for a split second, I thought this was Guy Fieri. I think the MSG in my bloodstream is making me a bit delirious, and I probably didn't need this plate, but I wanted to try a few more items. These sliders were probably my least favorite of the items I tried. There wasn't even a burger in there, but more like a thick slice of roast beef. The dumplings likely aren't homemade, but I couldn't really tell, and they were pretty good. But now it's time for a quick intermission before we move on to the dessert. Also love how they flex all their accolades as you limp your way breathing heavily to wash your hands. So the dessert selection is just as plenty as the savory food, and it looks like the calories per serving are increasing just like my blood pressure. This untouched bread pudding looks so good, but I think it'd take me out, so I'm gonna keep scrolling for now.
I don't know where to start.
I think I'm gonna start with the waffle station, where they make new waffles basically as fast as they're eaten. They have all the toppings, sauces, and syrups you can really need. It's really hard filming and making this waffle with one hand, and everyone keeps staring at me a little bit annoyed because I'm taking so long, so I'm under a lot of pressure right now. But I think it turned out pretty okay. They have several options of ice cream, including the legendary cookies and cream, but the difficulty level is too high scooping some now. But you also have a Yogen Fruze machine if that's more your vibe. Creme brulee, don't mind if I do. I can't remember what this cake was, to be honest, but it looked really good. I like these bite-sized portion items. It makes things a little bit easier. Plus, look how cute they are. And I managed to snipe this tiramisu from the other side. It looks like a piece was perfectly set up for me. Thank you, stranger. I think this is good, so let's go and try some of the dessert. We are in Sugar Town right now, and yes, that is definitely Guy Fieri. So, I ended up with 5.2 different kinds of desserts, which I think should give us enough of a sample size for a good review. First, I started with tiramisu, which tasted exactly like I'd hoped. It was fluffy, not too sweet, and you get a nice hit of that cocoa. The ladyfingers were also soft and slightly moist. I really think they nailed it with the tiramisu. This Belgian waffle just hits different. I mean, it's still a bit warm, and I think the scoop of ice cream would have taken it over the top, but I have no complaints. I like that there's someone standing there making fresh hot waffles to order for you. It really makes the whole experience that much better. Let's see if the creme brulee passes test number 1.
Slow down, baby. What?
Passes the tap test, and the sugar on top is nicely torched. The white cream is silky and smooth. It's not overwhelmingly sweet. This and the waffle were definitely my favorites. I also really enjoyed the rice pudding and cheesecake. I don't know if they got this from the Cheesecake Factory or if they make it in-house, but it's still very good. Now, with all that said, I think I've reached my limit. I'm going to give the dessert a strong 4-star rating, which is pretty impressive given the variety of options you have. None of the individual desserts are remotely the best I've ever had, and you would think it's quantity over quality, but it's really not. I still thoroughly enjoyed them. The savory food was fresh and flavorful, but slightly on the greasy end. And that will also give them a solid 4-star for that, because their few Western inspired dishes could use some improvement, and that's the critique I'll leave in my official Google review. At the end, we get our fortune cookie. Let's see what we got today. It says, if you like this video, the algorithm will give me great fortune in the future. With tip, the order came out to about $80 for 2 people, which is pretty exceptional value since the food is unlimited and is generally higher quality than you'd expect. I also came here on a weekend and it's usually less expensive on weekdays. So I do think the Mandarin deserves their 4.7-star rating. I can't leave partial stars for their review, so I will give them 5 stars because when you factor in the service, it's really the bomb.
Now, why'd you say it was a bomb?
No, you said that.
No, you said it.
You said that in the hotel room.
I said she was the bomb.
She was the bomb?
The hostess is attentive, you get a sense of humbleness and authenticity from everyone. People greet you every corner you walk around. It's a very chill vibe, and the effort they put into their interior design goes a long way, and I will definitely be back one day in the future. I took my favorite bentonite clay before the meal to help mitigate some damage to the lining of my gut, which I'll leave in the description below, but I don't know if it'll help, to be honest, because after this meal I do feel that type of way right now.
Whoa. Oh, hell no. Throw it in. Don't give me another seat. Listen to me.
I want the perfect food.
Are you hungry?
We're always looking for the perfect food, and trust me, today I'm gonna show you the best smash burgers this city has to offer.
Yeah. How do I know you're telling the truth?
I don't have a reason to lie to you, man.
Oh, really? We'll see.
Where's he going?
We are on a mission to Rudy Burgers today, and even though the one on Queensway is closest to me, I want the full Harold and Kumar experience, so we're gonna go downtown to the Danforth location. It took him about a day to get there due to unforeseen circumstances, but I'm about to hit rush hour traffic, so it should probably take about the same time. How you hanging in there, pal?
What's up with the guy with the weird eyes? He handicapped or something?
We believe he's of Korean descent.
The Rudy location we're going to today has a 4.2-star rating. In fact, all of them have about a 4.2-star rating average. So you may be asking yourself, how is this supposed to be the best smash burger in the city? What have you guys been smoking? Well, a lot of the reviews aren't based on the actual taste of the burger, but a lot of other things. So we're going to get to that later. But anyways, strap on. It's going to be a long ride, and I'll see you guys there. I'm also excited because I finally get to use the Christmas bonus I received from my work after they turned a nice profit. What's a better gift than some delicious burgers other than a pizza lunch? Just makes you feel super appreciated.
This makes me want to burn this motherfucker down.
Luckily, I arrived just as they opened and the place looks fully empty, so it's just gonna make the whole ordering experience much faster.
Looks like you guys had some night, huh?
I want 30 sliders, 5 French fries, and 4 large cherry Cokes.
I want the same, except make mine Diet Cokes.
I'm basically going to be reviewing their whole burger lineup. This location is decent in size. It could use a little bit more charm, but anyway, I like to eat at home, so it's not a big deal for me. I'm going to place my order now before more people come. Okay, can I get a roux pickles, onions, no tomato? Yeah. Big Rudy. Big Rudy. Poutine. And the Valentino. And I'll get some pickled chips and an order of fries and a pop. And a pop.
Wow. You're good at this.
Thanks.
They do have a nice patio if you want to come out and eat here with your family during the 3 to 4 months of warm weather we get down here. The teams they have working here are super nice and competent. They read the order back to you, make sure nothing's missing. I don't want to assume, but it looks like they're all from the Middle Eastern descent. It could be a little bit more diverse, but I mean, it's not a big deal.
Frankly, I find this very offensive. They're using some sort of dialect I've never heard before.
One thing I'm going to be critical about is their pop game. All they have is water, ginger ale, Fanta, Coke. They used to have root beer, but they took it away for some reason. I don't know if they had Dr. Pepper, but they should definitely get it. This is something definitely I'm going to leave in the review. To mitigate some damage, I think I'm going to go with Coke Zero.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
You know what? I'm just going to go with regular Coke. There's no saving me now. I have no idea what this Fuse iced tea is, but just get some Nestea, get some Grape Crush, get some cream soda, and I think it's good. As you're taking a second look at the menu, I'm over here trying to pay, and I just realized that the gift card I have works for literally every single restaurant except this one.
No, dude, this isn't happening, all right? We didn't make it here, and now we're broke. No, 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 no!
That's me. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Have a good day. Who else would it be for? You're literally the only person in this restaurant right now. The whole order set us back about 85 bucks with tip, and that's with zero tax. Most recently, the Canadian government abolished all tax on certain food items, diapers. I'm guessing it was Trudeau's last attempt to kind of win votes back. One thing I don't understand though is why tips are being taxed. Like, I really feel like this is something they should abolish fully.
I'm sorry. You want right.
Usually I like to check and make sure everything's there, but I don't want to rummage through it and kind of mess it up. And let's be clear, Rudy, I'm vouching for you guys really hard, so if I find
That you are anything short of spectacular, I'll completely cut you off.
Dad, come on.
Daddy is not coming on anything.
one thing I didn't consider is how cold my food is going to be when I come back, but either way, it's going to be a long journey, so strap on once more, and I'll see you guys there. Earlier in the video, I did talk about how Rudy's has a 4.2 review, and some of the reasons that they may have gotten such a low review from people. I found that the main reasons for the low reviews was because of the size of the food and the value that you're getting. And I do think that's a valid complaint. It should definitely be factored in with the overall review of the restaurant, but honestly, today I'm just going to review based on the taste. At the end of the day, I still think that's the most important when you're reviewing food. Now, every time before I eat this much junk food, I always take zeolite or activated charcoal to try and mitigate some of the abuse that my gut is about to take. You can find it in the description below. You also may be wondering if I'm going to be eating all these burgers.
Forget it. I'm not risking my life over a bunch of hamburgers, man.
First, we're going to start with the Big Rudy. You can obviously see that this burger is modeled after the Big Mac with a piece of bun in the middle. And look at that crispy piece of meat just fall off. Like, right away, this tells me the burger's been seared perfectly like a smash burger should be. We got the Rudy sauce inside, which is basically their version of a mac sauce, so let's give it a try and give it a rating out of 5 stars. So, firstly, as predicted, the meat patties are super crisp and delicious. They're very well seasoned. There's a good amount of Rudy sauce inside. The thin little pickles are all crispy. One thing I want to say is that the bun in the middle is a little bit redundant. I feel like it's slightly a bit too much bread. If you're going to slap a bun in the middle, I think you should make it a quad patty because these burger patties are a little bit thin. So for those reasons, I'm probably going to give this about a 4.2 rating. It's still a very good burger, but I think the ratios are a little bit off there. Also, I'm going to be a little bit petty and ask why this is called the Big Rudy. The regular cheeseburger is called the Rudy, and the double cheeseburger they have is called the Rude Dude. I definitely feel like this should be called the Rude Dude, and the double cheeseburger should be called the Big Rudy.
What did you like? Take calculus in high school or something?
Actually, my dad taught it to me in 6th grade.
Again, it's not a big deal, but I mean, it just makes more sense. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Next on the list is the Crudy Burger. Look at this sloppy boy. This is a double cheeseburger with sauteed onions and some thick pickles. Definitely feels heavier than the Big Rudy, which I'm a little bit surprised about. But let's go ahead and give it a try.
The bright, blessed day, the dog say goodnight.
This is pretty much as close as you can get to a perfect smash burger. The patties are still crispy. The buns just melt in your mouth. It's very well seasoned. You got the sauteed onions. The only critique I'm going to give is that the onions may be a little bit too oily. They can definitely reduce the oil a little bit on this, but I mean, it's just a sloppy, delicious, well-seasoned burger. I really don't have any other complaints. I mean, this is definitely like last meal worthy. Absolutely stellar burger. I could probably eat like 3 of these, but I'd probably keel over with the amount of grease in them, but I'm going to say this is probably a 4.7 star rating. Just a little bit bit on the greasy side, but I mean, it just melts in your mouth. It's such a good burger. This one's going to be a tough one to beat if I'm going to be honest with you. This is the Valentino burger, which is their chicken burger, and it's one I was most excited to try because I've never tried it before. So let's see if Rudy can do chicken burgers as well.
I touched your breast.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I'm going to go ahead and give it a try without the Valentino sauce, which is their hot sauce. I'm gonna say I'm a little bit disappointed with the chicken burger. You do get a little bit of the crunch from the coleslaw, but it's not as crispy as you would find with Chick-fil-A or Popeyes. It's also a little bit dry. The chicken can definitely be a little bit more juicy, and it can also be a little bit more seasoned, right? It's a little bit bland. So unfortunately, I'm gonna probably have to give this burger like a 3-star rating. If there's anything they can improve on the menu so far, it's gonna be the chicken burger. I feel like they're so good at making smash burgers, and they have attention to detail, so like if they heed this review, I think they can really upgrade this a lot. Okay, last but not least, we have the Rude Dude, which I also think should be called the Big Rudy. It's their double cheeseburger. It's got the thick pickles. I removed the tomato, added lettuce, pickles, and onions, which I think are the perfect toppings for a burger. Let's take a bite and give it a rating out of 5 stars.
I think to myself, what a wonder.
I mean, I can't really imagine a smash burger being more perfect than this. The burger patties have been really consistent throughout every single burger, very crisp. You got the soft bun, crunch from the pickles, the cheese, the ratios are perfect. It's even got the Rudy sauce in it. I mean, we already know that the perfect food is obviously pizza, burgers, burritos, steak. You can go on, but when it comes to the perfect smash burger, I mean, this is pretty much as good as it gets. Like, this is going to be tough to beat in the city. Of course, I'm going to try hard, but I mean, hats off to them. Pound for pound, so far, this is the best burger in the city. And I'm going to give them about a 4.7 star rating, the same as the Crudy burger. Okay, moving on to the sides, let's unveil this poutine. This thing is absolutely loaded with gravy and cheese.
Dude, this thing is huge! I think it still has cheese on it.
After taking a taste, I mean, it's a pretty solid poutine. It could be a little bit more salty. One thing that I like is that they use thick cut fries for the poutine, and for the regular fries, you can get skinny fries as well. So this is a little bit of attention to detail. Looks like we have a stray cheese curd over here. I don't want you guys to watch this. We also got the pickle chips here. I mean, very crispy, very nice batter, salty. Not too many complaints, to be honest. I didn't really try any of the desserts today, but I can tell you that the brownie is very delicious. The milkshake is thick, sweet, also very good. And I actually did end up going to the Queensway location. You know, I didn't mean to lie to you guys, but I mean, ain't nobody got time for that.
Hi, I'm Peter. You know me from the movie Harold, Kumar, and Peter Go to White Castle. As you can see, I'm enjoying a White Castle burger. Why? Because I don't do drugs. Took me 5 minutes to get to White Castle. I didn't get diverted by all those crazy hijinks. Because I don't get high. It was a good movie, though.
But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I do feel like we're going to do a lot more hamburger videos because there's so many in the city, and this is basically a
land filled with hamburger stands. And not just one type of hamburger, okay? Hundreds of types with different sizes, toppings, and condiments.
As always, I'm going to leave the final review on Google for them. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. We're almost at 500 subscribers, and I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. So after many nights of bad decisions, and even worse memory, in the beautiful and vibrant nightlife of Toronto, I'd always end up at Apache Burger, where I'd go to binge and try to end the night on a positive note. And for these reasons, I'm going to visit them today and give them a review. Also guys, I wanted to welcome you back to the channel. I only meant to take a few weeks off of cooking videos, but with some procrastination that ended up turning into 10 months. I'm still going to be making cooking videos from time to time, but I'm going to be focusing on food reviews a little bit because they don't take as much time to make and it's also less expensive. I'm not sure where you're watching from, but inflation's gotten pretty bad here in Canada. Thanks, B! But during this time, I still pursued my very unlucrative but successful career as a local food guide employed by Google. Now, I'm getting very hungry and I have to film this video before my girlfriend comes or else I'm going to have to pay double for everything. So let's go. So I feel like a lot of the mid-sized YouTubers review too many restaurants at once. So for these reasons, I'm going to stick to one review per video. This way restaurants get the recognition they deserve, and it'll give us the chance to go a lot deeper. And I'll be using the same layout that my company does. We'll be looking at things like food, service, vibe, and other things I'll mention like parking, cleanliness, price per person. And of course, I'm going to add my own final review at the end, which is important for me not to only climb the corporate ladder, but help these restaurants really improve. The same way you guys do for me all the time.
I love you back.
So Apache is located on the west side of Toronto in the suburbs of Etobicoke. In terms of location, it's perfectly placed for me as it's right beside the subway station, which made it super clutch coming from the downtown core. And these were the days before Uber. So not only could I find a suitable mating partner, but I couldn't even find a cab to save my life. Even the cab drivers got more action than I did, but I could at least rely on a cheap and safe way to get home. So Apache became a front in 1969, replacing a place called Mello's Ice Cream. Now I couldn't find anything else on Mello's Ice Cream. I mean, the picture's black and white, but ever since then it's been run by the same family, which is the Beachy family, started by two brothers from Greece, and now it's being taken over by the daughter. So being around for so many years, I guess they must be doing something right. So they've got a 4.3 out of 5-star rating, which is pretty good. I mean, they've got over 3,000 reviews. Now if we analyze a couple, we can see one was left here by one of my colleagues, Hassan. Looks like he had the best time of his life here, leaving a very professional and positive review. But he also mentioned they taste the same as they did when they first opened 55 years ago, which seems a little sus. But anyways, looking at a bad review here, looks like Susie had a completely opposite experience. Literally nothing went right for her. She even mentioned the garbage can was hard to open. But in the end, I will make the final judgment and determine their fate. Looks like the owner's here today, so the food must be on point. I mean, I've been coming here since a teenager, and somehow they're always able to upgrade to the latest S63 AMG. So they must move a lot of burgers. But I mean, then again, it'd probably be more suspicious if they were driving like a 98 Volvo. So I'm probably just tripping. Shit, man, was I banned from here before? Now I can't remember, to be honest. So as soon as you walk in, you are hit with this amazing smell, and it almost instantly triggers the Proust effect, reminding me of all the past trauma that I've experienced before coming here. Now, conveniently right beside the line, you can see there's an ATM machine, which obviously implies that they're cash only. So right away, I'm gonna remove 1 star from them because it's almost 2025. Nobody carries cash anymore. I have to literally go to the bank, pull out cash just to come and eat here. And to be honest, I don't even think Gen Z knows how to use cash. However, being cash only is a way to save on tax. And that's probably why they have that S63 AMG outside. So I'll give that star back for now just for being smart. Anyways, guys, I'm about to order. Give me 1 sec. I'll get an Apache burger. I'll get onion rings. And I'll get a poutine. Okay, so from the burger menu, I ordered the Apache burger, which is basically just a double cheeseburger. They also have the twin cheeseburger, which is 2 patties and 1 cheese, which could be confusing for a lot of people. The banquet burger is a cheeseburger with bacon on it. And you can see here, they also have a steak on a Kaiser. I mean, I couldn't really find any pictures of it. And it's $12, so I'm gonna assume it's pretty crap. You've got grilled chicken warlocks on a bun, which also doesn't look too appetizing on the pictures. Some people complained it's dry, so I'm not even gonna bother trying that. Nobody really cares about a veggie burger. They got the glizzy, as you can see. I mean, you can go to any hot dog stand in the city and just get a better sausage. So now moving on to the sides and beverages. So I ordered the legendary onion rings, which are homemade and something that they're actually very known for. I didn't order any fries because I got a poutine. I'm not going to entertain the chicken strips because they're probably frozen and store-bought. And everything else is just extras if you want to be fat. I feel like it's a little bit weird that they have tomatoes as a side. Not sure who would ever order just tomatoes on the side, but anyway. And from the beverage menu, you see they have milkshakes. And they also have this grape drink, which actually has a lot of good reviews, so I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting it. They even sell it by the jug if you want to take some home. But anyways, as we wait for the burger artist, I'll show you some of the famous people that have been here. Got some famous hockey players. There's Danny Green, who helped us win a championship when he was playing for the Raptors. And even Kendrick Lamar, who recently violated Drake. Then he came down to Apache Burger to have a meal. Like, that's pretty cold, not gonna lie. Okay, after a few minutes, it's our turn to put the burger together. As you can see, they use kind of like a Harvey style. It's very interactive. One thing I like about this is that you can never really screw up the toppings because they put it on in front of you. One downfall though is that if they put like 1 pickle on your burger or like 3 pieces of onions, you kind of have to ask them again, and it's a little bit awkward. All the employees also have this deadpan stare, so there aren't any smiles. They're very monotone, which I mean, I don't mind too much. They almost call me filming here. They got a very nice tile mosaic here of Marilyn Monroe. This is a ketchup dispenser. Here's a view of the dining room. It's like a 50s, 60s diner style vibe. So in terms of cleanliness, it's pretty clean. There's no gums under the table. That's usually a sign that, you know, they care a bit more. Here you can see from their logo that they're honoring the Apache, which were the Native Indians of America. The Native Indians here in Canada Canada were also known as the ingenious people, and it's unfortunate they had their land taken from them 150 years ago. But on a more positive note, it looks like Indians are bouncing back strong here in Canada and taking back some land, so that's at least nice to see. Good job, bro. Alright, we got our burger, and the Proust effect is still in full effect, so I gotta get out of here. Of course, you always want to check your order before you go. Now, since I'm not getting anything for my girlfriend today, I'm not gonna eat any of the fries or onion rings. Like, if you're the one to go out and pick up the food, like, you're entitled to 5 to 10% of the fries. And as soon as you get home, just complain how they gave you so much less fries this time. Alright, everything looks good, so it's time to move on to my favorite part. So the burger, fries, and poutine sent me back about $30, which I mean is pretty standard. I did say at the beginning of the video that doing food reviews might be cheaper, but I think I'm gonna have to take that back, especially if the wifey wants to tag along for a lot of these reviews. Just gonna set up some condiments here, and then it's time to give it a try. So as you know, I've been here before, and in the past these were the best onion rings I've ever had. So right away I can feel that they're a little bit squishier than I remember. You see this little crispy corner here? This is basically how it should be all around the ring. Even looking at some of these pictures, you can see that the whole onion ring is crisp. So after tasting it, I'm gonna guess it's a little bit undercooked. The batter tastes good, but there's not a whole lot of onion in it. I do prefer this kind of batter though, instead of the crispy ones. I think it makes for a better onion ring. Just a little unfortunate though, but I'll have to give them 3 out of 5 stars for this one. Now moving on to the burger. Being the fatty that I am, I'm gonna scrape the cheese off this wrapping first. Looks like they forgot to put my tomato in. Let's give it a try. It's really hard to say this because they've been saving me from alcohol poisoning for many years, but the burgers are mediocre at best. You taste a little bit of the flame grill, which is probably the only thing it has going for it, but you can tell that the burger is frozen and not freshly made. Maybe 10 to 15 years ago they could have got away with this, but the burger game's been up so high recently. You've got so many burger joints in the area, and they all grind their beef daily. Price point is similar, and it just tastes better. You know, why would I come here when I can't even pay with cash and buy a burger that's been frozen before, rather than a burger that's freshly ground every day from cows that have even eaten grass for their whole life, for crying out loud. So for these reasons, I can't give them more than a 3-star rating. I wonder if being intoxicated had anything to do with making it look and taste better than it usually does. Must be the same for the burgers too then. So I've been so distracted by these rings that I forgot to even put one in the burger. That's actually a really good food hack. Doesn't seem like anything's going right for me. Starting to feel like that chick who couldn't open the garbage can at Apache Burger. Luckily I have a good air fryer where I can just warm up the rings, but this is how they should be. Okay, so moving on to the poutine now. Maybe you can offer Apache some redemption here. First of all, I hate this type of packaging for poutines because when you have these flaps and when you're eating, the flaps kind of get in your way and you get gravy all over your hands, so it's kind of annoying. I don't know why they just didn't keep the styrofoam, but I'm just being picky here. So these are definitely the perfect fries for the poutine. These nice thick cut fries. There's a good amount of gravy and also a pretty generous amount of cheese curds. Definitely needs a lot more salt. I almost feel like they completely forgot it. Otherwise, this probably would have been a pretty decent poutine. I mean, it's just a few ingredients to make it. What's really disappointing is that the owner was there today. I understand that sometimes restaurants are busy, crowded, they have a lot of orders, but there's zero excuse for that today. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give him another 3-star rating. Kinda happy I didn't get the grape drink or the milkshake actually, because I don't know if I can take any more disappointment today. So for my final review, I'm gonna leave Apache with a 3-star rating. Now, there is some positive news in all of this. I feel like they can go from about a 3-star rating to a 4 to 4.5 star rating very easily by implementing some of the changes I'm going to recommend for them. In terms of cleanliness and design and vibe, I think they're totally fine. Parking is never an issue. It's spacious. It even looks like they let you eat in it if you want. Smash burgers have become really popular in the area in recent years, like the Burgers Priest and another one I won't mention because I'm going to review them one day. I'm just waiting for the certain time of the month. But all of these burger joints have freshly ground beef every day. I feel like this is an absolute must. They've got the history, they've got the vibe, they got the name. I do love the fact that they've stayed authentic and they haven't tried too hard to change so many things, but the reality is you just have to upgrade something, like get Square or something to start accepting credit card and debit cards, for crying out loud. Some of the menu items like the chicken burger and the steak on the Kaiser are a little bit of an afterthought. You also have the chicken fingers that are frozen and I don't think anyone's ever ordered them before. You can make the menu smaller if needed, make it even simpler than it is, which would be better than having a bad review for something that someone ate at your restaurant. And it seems like the expressions that you see on the cooks and the owner kind of reflects on the food as well. So to sum it up, I still think Apache Burger has a lot of great potential. I don't believe this was their best day. I'm going to leave this review for them. Hopefully they make some of the changes I mentioned, and if they don't, then the same thing is going to happen to them that's been happening to all the other businesses here. Somewhere between a Big Mac and Divine Law, you have the halal burger. It's beef and it's blessed, but does it taste better? Today I'm reviewing a relatively new smash burger spot in the city called Pit Stop Burgers. Now I like to educate on this channel, so I'll go over a little bit on the key differences between regular beef and halal beef, and it basically comes down to how the cow is slaughtered. So according to Islamic law, a mature Muslim man who is sound of mind says the words Bismillah Allahu Akbar, which means in the name of God, God is greatest, and with a sharp knife swiftly severing the animal's throat while it's still alive and awake, which is supposed to be more humane. Unfortunately, if you're a Muslim woman, you can't unharam the meat. Now this is different from the North American way where the animal is first stunned unconscious and then slaughtered, which I mean is probably the way I'd want to go, like when I'm sound asleep, but just a personal preference. Now first impressions of the vibe check, I mean, I don't know if these white pleather seats were a good design choice. I feel like they're gonna get absolutely destroyed in the next few months. Like 2 kids can do some serious damage on these seats. And it also kind of gives the feel of them trying to be overly glamorous for no reason, kind of like Europeans do for everything. Like literally could go on to Kijiji and get some bar stools and instantly makes this place look better. So yeah, it is a little bit chuggy. I don't know, chat, let me know if I'm being a little bit too harsh, but that's just the feel I get. Now something I didn't initially see with my own eyes but my camera caught was the guy who was taking my order fully snot rocketing into his hands in a tissue paper, which I mean, okay, whatever, but something I did see and I didn't catch with my camera was using the same hand to put the American cheddar onto my burgers, which is absolutely haram. And it kind of makes you question the sanitation level of the place, right? Like when you're handling meat or cheese or any kind of food, like you gotta have some gloves or something. And I was a fat ass growing up, so I don't know if you've ever done this too, but I used to eat like Kraft Singles cheese, and you know they absorb absolutely everything. So all that bacteria that would have been on his hands definitely got absorbed into the cheese. Now while I'm waiting for my slightly halal burger, I'll take a little quick look at the menu. They have that Veradero Cuba style hot dog, which is halal of course. I don't know why these burger places do this. Like why don't they just keep the sausage whole, right? Like why do they cut it in half? They got a chicken burger, they got veggie burgers, onion rings, poutines, fries, pretty much the standard with most burger joints. I ended up getting their double cheeseburger, pickles, lettuce, onions, no tomato of course, which is basically the staple of every burger joint. Like if you can't nail the double cheeseburger, then I mean the rest of the stuff is probably gonna suck too. And for the side, I'm gonna try their spicy Cajun fries. I was maybe gonna try a few more things, but I kind of got turned off by the way my cheese was handled. So after about 7 minutes, it's ready. So I'm gonna try and rate the Cajun fries first. So they definitely vibe like McCain fries that were dumped in a bag of Cajun powder. The Cajun spice is a little bit overwhelming, and the fact that they're pre-frozen and not freshly made in-house, like I can't give them more than a 2-star rating. Now moving on to the burger, like I have to say this actually looks like a pretty beautiful looking smash burger. After saying a little prayer internally for my gut bacteria, I'm gonna take a bite and give it a rating out of 5 stars. You know what, I'm a little bit disappointed, and it's not because this burger is bad. It's actually pretty good. I mean, the bun is soft, it's toasted nicely. The meat could be a bit better seared and a little bit better seasoned. They do have that real American cheese, and even the sauce inside is pretty good. But I'm just disappointed because everything else about this place is just wrong. From the way the food is handled, the design choices, customer service is non-existent. It's a pretty bleak vibe. Like, I never just come in here to dine in. So as far as the burger goes, I'm gonna give it a 3.8 star rating, which is pretty good. Now for the restaurant as a whole, probably a 3-star rating just based on my experience. Like I've been to a lot more burger joints with worse burgers that have been far more successful. It's like they put all of their skill points into making the burger but then just kind of forgot everything else. So if they redesign this place a little bit, fix the issue with the hygienes, get some gloves, get some freshly cut fries, and really improve their customer service, I think this place can easily go up to a 4.3, 4.4. And that's in a city where it's super competitive. And when you see a rating like this, 4.7 stars with only 100 reviews, it's pretty much meaningless. Of course, when a business starts out, they're going to incentivize friends, family to give them good reviews. It usually takes about 500 to 600 reviews to kind of start getting closer to what the actual rating of a place is. So guys, let me know in the comments below, am I being too harsh? What would you say that they can improve on? As far as halal beef goes, I'm all for it. It's generally supposed to be better quality meat because there are some higher standards as to how the cattle is treated and raised, right? Anyways guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe as we tackle more restaurants in the city, hopefully, and I'm definitely not doing it until this weather starts to get better. See you next time. So guys, the Burgers Priest reminds me of that cool kid in high school everyone wanted to be like. Then you see them again 10 years later and then you're like, what the hell happened to him? And I did make a discovery as to why I think they're in trouble, but they're still highly reviewed and they do have a great story behind them, so let's get right into it.
lifted it well high at the sky, y'all. And then he
Alright, here we are. So the Burgers Priest was started by Shant Martirosian, a guy from California who moved to Toronto to study religious studies and become a pastor. And I guess he was pissed off he couldn't find a good fresh burger, which is understandable. So he decided to forgo his religious studies and instead open up a burger joint, which is also logical. And then just the whole idea exploded from there. This was back in 2010, and in 2017 he sold all his company's ownership to the same people that own Swiss Chalet and Harvey's, Recipes Unlimited, which I'm gonna guess was for Mr. Stark money. And then he just rode off into the sunset like Thanos. Like, this dude is pretty badass.
He is not a dude. You're a dude. This is a man.
So I'm gonna order quite a few items today. I want to give Burgers Priest a pretty good chance here. I'm gonna go with the Vatican, the bacon cheese dog, double OG cheeseburger, poutine, the priest, and I want a priest with all that smoke, classic chicken sandwich, side G14 sauce, side secret sauce, a pop, and I'll have some fries with that.
What did it cost?
Everything.
So the cost is comparable to many other burger joints, but I feel like these burgers are a bit heftier than normal, so maybe a little bit more value than you would get in other places. They do have a little section here where you could confess your sins. I'm going to try and get a little sneak peek of what goes on in the back, and I just remember thinking about how many poor cooking videos I can make in this kitchen. In general, this place is very beautifully designed. It's been here for a while and it still looks brand new. Very good vibe and very good customer service. But again, we're only judging based on the taste of the burger. So at the beginning of the video, I did mention Priest was in trouble, and the reason for that is Rudy Burger.
You say that? Yeah, we don't actually say that name in here.
That's just down the street from this location on Queensway. And you guys know what I think about Rudy Burgers already from my previous video. However, it's not just this location. I mean, Rudy saw who the king on the block was and literally said, doesn't matter if there's a church in between, as close as they can possibly get, even right across the street. I mean, that's blasphemous. Now, with all that being said, Shant is chilling. Recipes Unlimited actually has Mr. Stark money. With the way Harvey's is going and Swiss Chalet, I mean, I think Burgers Priest is the least of their worries for now. But we're gonna give them a fair shot today. Looking at their pop game, I mean, it's pretty on point. They have Dr. Pepper, they have root beer, they have bubbly, they have crush, all nicely filled. The drink selection gets a 4-5. Now, the burgers are ready. Super heavy bag. However, the bag definitely gets a 2 stars. They've been redeeming burgers, but let's see if they can redeem themselves today. So while I'm bagging these burgers, I want to thank you guys for 500 subs. I did set a goal for myself to make more videos this year and lose some weight, which I think I'm failing at both so far.
It's true. You have put on weight.
What? Come on, do you think I'm...
I don't think the Avengers can help my channel at this point, but...
You want to know who helped me out of it?
Natasha?
It was you. You helped me.
You are my Avengers. Now I'm going to say a prayer for the priest and to my gut lining for the amount of damage it's about to take. And we're going to try some burgers. I'm going to be starting with the priest, and this is a beautiful looking burger. It's got the option, which is 2 portobello mushrooms sandwiching cheddar cheese. I mean, what's not to like? And there's only one way to eat this burger.
And Hulk.
Smash.
Last thing you want is that cheese backshotting into your throat. So I'm just going to let a little bit of it out, and we're going to give it a try. So this taste. This is actually still a very good burger. Of course, the option kind of overpowers the meat, so you don't get as much of the meat taste, but the mushroom kind of acts as a substitute for it anyway. The option is very well deep fried and crispy, and of course, there's a lot of cheese, which I have no problem with. Just in case it's not enough, there's another slice of cheese in the burger. I was gonna try the priest with the smoke in it, which is the deep fried jalapenos that just pair perfectly with the cheddar cheese, and I think that little spiciness would take this up a notch. However, my girlfriend did end up taking that burger. Still a very good burger. I'm gonna give this one a 4-1. And with deep fried jalapenos, I think it takes it up to a 4-2. I think the lettuce inside could be a better quality. The bun is soft, but I've had better. And I do like my onions to be chopped into pieces rather than sliced, but I mean, that's just me being picky. Next up, we have a Vatican, which is a double cheeseburger that's sandwiched between 2 grilled cheese sandwiches. Again, another beautiful looking burger. The bun is very nicely crusted with butter. I almost just want to eat this grilled cheese sandwich alone. But let's give it a try. So the bun tastes much better on this burger, and they have some really good American cheese. But of course, it's too much bread. I mean, it's definitely a gag burger. Like, you have to be a next level fat ass to just casually get this burger. It's definitely not necessary. I do get to taste the meat a little bit more here, and I can say it's a little bit under seasoned, and it can definitely be smashed a bit better. So the Vatican is a beautiful looking burger, but I'm gonna have to give it a 3.7. All right, now we have the double OG cheeseburger. So the double cheeseburger is definitely the staple of every burger joint in my opinion, without all the fancy add-ons. Pickles, lettuce, onions, no tomato as usual. Let's give it a try. They have great sized patties, definitely good value here, but it's still missing some seasoning and it's definitely not smashed hard enough. Like, they have the tools. Look at the size of the smasher. He's got to just put some weight on it and really get a good sear on the burger. I also don't know how fresh this burger is, if they're made same day or not. It doesn't taste like a pre-frozen burger, but I think the quality of their meat have gone down over the years. But it's still a pretty decent double cheeseburger. Again, the American cheese is very nice, and I think this can go up quite a bit if they just smash it properly, season it a bit better, and just get back to the roots, get the freshest, highest quality meat you can. And they can really push back on all the burger joints in the area. I mean, they've got the funds to do it, so still has some good potential. But today I'm gonna give them a 3.8 on the double cheeseburger. All right, burger number 4, the classic chicken sandwich.
I don't feel so good.
This kind of vibes like the junior chicken from McDonald's, except better quality, of course. It has pretty good flavor. It's crispy. It could be a bit crispier. Could use a little bit more mayo or sauce in there. The pickles, I don't know how I feel like the pickles in this sandwich. It's not as juicy as I'd like, but it's also not too dry. I'm gonna go with a 3.8 on the chicken sandwich. It's actually better than I thought it'd be. Now I'm gonna try the fries, but they've cooled down a bit, so I'm gonna heat them up in my gently used Cuisine Art air fryer. This is probably the best appliance I've ever bought. It was like $400. Obviously, I'm not sponsored by them or anything.
But why are we doing it? Because we're nice. And maybe whoever it is will give us a little cheddar cheese.
We're gonna give it a try with these sauces, the G14 sauce and the secret sauce. And I like the sauces a lot. The secret sauce kind of vibes like a Big Mac sauce. It's a little tangy. It has some horseradish in it maybe. And the G14 sauce is the secret sauce with the addition of barbecue sauce, which is also very nice. So I'm gonna give the sauces a good 4.3. I think this would go very well with the chicken burger as well. The fries are also pretty good. They're well seasoned, good amount of girth. I'll give the fries a 4.3 as well. Now let's try the best way to have the fries, and that's a poutine, of course. Good amount of cheese curds and perfect fries for a poutine. I'm kidding, it's actually not that bad. Cheese curds are nice, fries are good for the poutine. I'll say that the gravy is a little bit thin, almost tastes like it's watered down, so there could be improvement on the gravy. So for these reasons, poutine gets a 4.1. Alright, we're moving on to the bacon cheese hot dog. I was particularly excited about trying this because I've never tried it before. I had a little trouble getting the hot dog out, you just have to slide it out.
So he's an idiot.
Yeah.
A very Cuban resort styled hot dog sliced down the middle, loaded with cheese. Of course, 1,000 times better quality. It's got sauteed onions and bacon on it. I mean, this thing is loaded. You don't even need a plate for this because I don't think it'll help.
What do you think is coursing through my veins right now?
Cheese whiz?
You know, I've never really been a fan of beef hot dogs, and I don't think this hot dog changes my mind either. There's a certain spice in this hot dog, and I can't pinpoint what it is, but I'd still probably rather just get a hot dog from the hot dog stands down on the street. Again, very beautiful, and looks better than it tastes. So I'm gonna give the hot dog a 3.5. Definitely thought this was gonna rate higher. So guys, when rating Burgers Priest, I'm gonna give them a solid 4, and this is all being carried by the Priest burger. I think this is by far the best burger they have. They just have to season their burgers a bit better, really use that smasher. I even think they patented this thing. They have the tools, they have the money. I do see why people say they've changed, because it definitely was better before, and I think with the little changes they can really be up there again. It's just they've been taken over by a large corporation. It's not the same when the creator is still there with the passion and the vision. Some of the other items need work, like the chicken burger, the hot dog, the attention to details, the gravy. But would I come here from time to time to get a Priest burger? Absolutely, but my preference will always be Rudy for now. And personally, I don't think anybody has a better burger than Rudy.
You don't know that!
I'm the only one who knows that.
Well, especially in this area. So we're gonna have to venture out deeper into the city very soon. So let me know what you guys think. This is also my 3rd burger review. I'm slowly becoming a Dave Portnoy of burgers.
It's like, I was made for this.
Would you like me to stick with burgers for now, or would you like to see a more range of foods to try? I've just been on this burger binge lately, and there's just so many more in the city. But thanks again guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, or else I'm gonna call cap on you.